Remind me never to run over a gypsy's daughter, and from now on I think I'll stay away from strawberry pie. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be wrapping up Horror Mayhem week 4. Gotta say I've been really enjoying this project and it's almost sad to see it come to a close. I've had a blast with it. Every week I've enjoyed whatever book I've picked up for the project, and week 4 is no exception, where the theme for this week was folk horror. And I thought when I chose this book, I thought, well, you can't get much more folk horror than A Gypsy Curse, can you? So the obvious choice for me was to read Thinner by Stephen King, aka Richard Bachman. Had a really good time with the book. I hadn't read it in years. It was so refreshing to go back and revisit it. I had forgotten a lot of what happened in the book, but I have seen the adaptation quite a few times, and after closing the book literally today, I'm planning on going to watch the adaptation again. I think it's a really good adaptation. It's pretty faithful to the book, and the cast was brilliant. John Considine, I think his name was, who plays Tudaz Lemke in the movie, was brilliant, and just looking forward to watching it again. So let's go ahead with what the book's about for people who don't know. So in a nutshell, Billy Halleck is a lawyer. He's just recently won a court case for his client where a large settlement has been dished out, and obviously he's riding on the wave of success with that case because it was a long time coming. So he goes out and celebrates and has dinner, and whilst driving home, his wife gives him a little bit of extra attention, which distracts him, and he doesn't see a gypsy woman walk out into the road, and going fairly fast, he runs her over and kills her. And what happens next is it goes to court, and because Billy Halleck knows the chief of police and the judge, he gets off lightly. He doesn't even have a breathalyzer test, and obviously the family of the killed gypsy woman don't really tolerate that. So the patriarch, Tudaz Lemke, I think it's pronounced Tudaz, he is the patriarch of the gypsy group that comes through the town to settle there for a few days and entertain the locals with parlour games and gambling and whatnot, whatever they do. So anyway, on the courthouse steps, when Billy gets out of court, he doesn't even receive a slap on the wrists. He gets off so easily, and obviously the patriarch of the gypsy group isn't going to take that. So he comes up to Billy, touches him on the cheek, and says, "Thinner." And what happens next is, well, Billy doesn't really think about it. He goes about his life and notices that he's starting to drop weight at an alarming rate, and it doesn't matter what he eats, he just cannot retain his body weight. He loses heaps of pounds every week, and it's not long before his pants are falling down in court, and he's just wasting away. It'd be a terrible thing. And then what follows, Heidi, his wife, gets scared. She thinks it's cancer. She has him tested at the Mayo Clinic, and the experts and medical staff there don't know what's happening. And as Billy's condition gets worse, he finds himself desperate to find the gypsy who put the curse on him, to beg him to take it off. And Billy does end up finding the gypsy group and confronts Lemke and asks and begs to have the curse taken off, and Lemke says, "No, I never take it off, I die with it in my mouth," and sends Billy on his way. So Billy doesn't know what to do. He's desperate, so he gets the help of a former client of his called Richard Ginelli, who's a mobster, and I believe that Ginelli's indebted to him in some way. Obviously Billy has helped him out in court, and Ginelli regards him as a friend, and when Billy tells his story, Ginelli doesn't waste any time in going after the gypsy group to scare them into submission to remove the curse from Billy. And Ginelli's really funny. He pretty much says to Billy, "Do you want me to pop this gyp, or what? Do you want me to hit him?" And Billy doesn't want that. He doesn't want anyone killed. He just wants the curse removed because it's a terrible thing. He gets so thin in the end that he's a walking skeleton, and he develops heart arrhythmia as well, which is a symptom of severe weight loss. So time is running out for Billy, time he doesn't have, and Ginelli makes his mark on the gypsies. He poisons their dogs. he shoots up their vehicles. He has the balls to come back the next morning posing as an FBI agent. He's the guy that shot up their camp and poisoned the dogs, and he's in their face, threatening them with an arrest if he doesn't get information and that sort of thing. And then he tricks Gina into coming over to the car with him, and he makes out that he's going to tip acid into her face if she tries anything, because she is the one that shot Billy with a slingshot through the hand and made a hole in his hand, which is pretty graphic. And eventually Lemke relents and agrees to meet Billy in a park, and that's where we see Lemke and Billy meet on a park bench, where Lemke has made the infamous strawberry pie, where both his blood and Billy's blood gets put into the pie, and the curse gets removed from Billy, but the condition is within 1 or 2 weeks he has to give the pie to someone else to eat, so that the curse is transferred on and he's free and clear. And that's basically it. And then what happens is, because he develops sort of a hate towards Heidi because of what she tried to do to him, her and his doctor behind his back wanted to try and get him committed involuntarily, and he gets revenge on her by bringing the pie home and saying, Heidi, look, I've got this pie for you. And he leaves it out. He goes up to bed. He hears Heidi downstairs getting a plate out and cutting the pie up, and he's thinking, yep, she's going to eat that. And he doesn't know what's going to happen, whether she will, how she will die. That's not mentioned in the book. But the thing was, Linda, his daughter, was away, or so he thought. And he gets up the next morning, he comes downstairs, and there's 2 plates with the remains of the pie, and turns out Linda came home early, and she's eaten the pie. And he doesn't say straight out, King just alludes to the fact that Linda will die from the curse as well, and that's pretty much how the book ends. So I had a great time with it. I especially had a really good time in spotting the Easter eggs in the book. When I read it for the first time, unfortunately I knew that King wrote the book, and it was funny reading it this time. I was actually looking for Easter eggs in the book, and there was a couple of fun things. I'll just go through those now. So when one of King's characters is having an internal monologue, sometimes they'll use the phrase friends and neighbours at the end of a sentence, and if you didn't know that King wrote the book, I'm just wondering if you'd actually recognise that and something would tweak. The other thing is, in a town where him and Heidi get away just after the court case, he steps on a pair of novelty scales in the street of this town they're staying at as part of their vacation, and it describes a needle as looking like an evil clown's dirty balloon, which is a cool reference to it. A very interesting little clue there. And also, when Billy starts to weigh himself, when he notices he's having some severe weight loss when he's stepping on the scales, a mannerism he develops is rubbing his mouth with the back of his hand, and that's a classic trait that Jack Torrance from The Shining has. Being an alcoholic, Jack Torrance constantly was rubbing the back of his mouth with his hand, which was one of his mannerisms, which I thought was very interesting. And then I thought the doctor, I forget his name now, but the doctor that was looking after Halleck, I found it very, very funny that while he's consulting, he's opening his desk drawer and he's snorting some coke while he's talking to Billy, and I thought that was pretty funny how King described that. I got a kick out of that. So that's basically it in a nutshell. I really, really enjoyed the book, and I can't wait to watch the adaptation for probably the 6th time I think it'd be now. I just love it. And Joe Montoya, his performance as Janelli in the movie is unreal, and just looking forward to watching that again. But that's it, guys. That is it for the project. I'm sorry to see it gone, but yeah, I had a great time with it, and hopefully I can participate in another project down the track with the Bookish Bryant. So thank you to Scott and Becky. I've really enjoyed the project, and I'm looking forward to what the other hosts have posted with their picks for Folk Horror Week. And yeah, had a great time. So that is it from me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, put comments below. I'll always respond to those, and let me know if you've read Thinner and what you thought about it, and have you watched the adaptation, and do you like it as much as I do? So let me know. Thanks guys for watching, and see you later.